All right, welcome. Here's a second live in one day. Anybody that watches me do lives probably like, what the hell is happening today? But on this live, we're going to be talking about how to get over being on camera. And I have a guest today, and she's going to talk through some of the things that she has going on. So stay tuned. All right. Thank you, Faith, for coming on. I know you're probably like feel a little antsy right now.
Hands are sweating.
Yeah. So we were talking about before we got on the live before, just this idea of like how to get over getting on camera. Because obviously, like at this point in my career, like I'll just get on camera and just say F it. But so let's kind of rewind back and lay the scene for folks, and then we'll get into the questions that you were asking me. And then essentially I'm just going to answer the questions. I want to talk about, we're going to give you a plan, and then everybody else can kind of emulate that plan. I know now you're like, what? I mean, a plan. Yeah, give you a plan of how to
This is a
overcome.
trap.
It was a trap. It was a trap.
This live
And
was a
then
trap.
people see it, so like they can hold you accountable too.
Okay.
Um, okay. So originally we were kind of talking about how to manage all the different pages and content that you have, right? So one of the things that I obviously believe is one of the best ways is to just create the video and then let the video speak for everything else that you need to have done. So what questions were you asking as I was laying that out so we can kind of get into that stuff?
So we were talking about how I had made a comment about, me having my three different jobs and it was just too much. So you said, no, it's not too much. You just can't get over your personal issues to be able to do the marketing that it takes. It's really easy. And I was like, well, what do you mean? It's like, and then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because if you know, like creative people like me, like I like to write, I like to do photographs, I like to do the behind the scenes stuff to express myself. The stuff like this that's just easy and simple, it terrifies me because I don't like being on camera. I
Yeah.
don't like it because I want everything to be perfect. Like my hair needs to be washed. I need to lose some weight. I need to do this before I no. And live doesn't allow for all of that. So I was asking the questions. Okay, I'm making my job as a social media manager hard because I'm trying to make all this content, even with my GoFinity stuff. I'm trying to make all this content or pull all this stuff together when I can just go live or make a video and just show you and tell you. And I don't have to spend the time typing it up or coming up with a graphic or doing any of that stuff. So we were kind
Yeah.
of talking about that. So I was trying to get around doing the live, and I said, okay, so can I just do the video? And then you were like, no, you need to start with the lives.
Right. So yeah, let's start right there because I think some people be like, "Well, I don't understand. I don't understand the difference. Like, aren't they both video?" And the answer is yes, they are both video, but there's three things that are unique about live video. The first one is just the pure interaction that you get to have with another person. Like, the idea that this is happening in real time and that somebody that's watching, could feasibly ask a question and kind of interject some concerns that they may have is something that you can't replicate when it's recorded. But then you also have, and the reason why people that are afraid to do video, why I say you can't do like you can't do regular video, is you remove the barrier of perfection, right? Like the thing that you're talking about right now, Faith, this idea that my hair has to be washed, I have to be, I need to lose a few more pounds, all of this stuff. Like when you're looking at a video and you're editing a video, you put yourself under a different level of scrutiny. And it does become this like, I will do that once I get that light and once I get that camera and once I get that editing software, once I get a better microphone and a better guest and a better interview. Like it becomes this like endeavor of impossible because you always want something better. But the trick is, it's like it doesn't get better until you actually do it. So like you want it to be better, but you like, okay, that's not true. You do have another option if you want to get better on camera, right? You can go take like improv classes and go stand in front of people and get on stage.
Nah,
Right. Like you're not gonna do
I'm
that
not
either.
doing that.
So it's like the only things that will help you is practice. And to me, this is better because I can practice. And like realistically, right now, at this very moment, we have one other person watching. So there's not a ton of people watching while we're doing this stuff. And I think that's the thing that people have to understand is that when you're creating the content, when you're going live, I'm actually going to talk about that too. When you're going live, a lot of people are not watching you when you go live.
They're watching the replay.
Yeah, they're watching after. So basically, like you wanted to record a video that they will watch, that they end up watching anyway as a recorded video, but it just took you 10 times the amount of time to put up the same video. And like as a small business owner, you don't have that level of time. Like I finally am getting to a place where I have team members and they can take on some of the stuff that I don't want to do or don't have time to do. But when I first started with my busted up Galaxy doing lives, I didn't have that. I didn't have time or the skills to edit a video, or at least I didn't think I had the skills. I realized later that editing to some degree doesn't have to be that complicated. There's levels to it, right? There's levels to the editing, there's levels to the video, there's levels. And so you just have to be willing to start on level 0. Like you're not on level 1. Just if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I'm at level 1. No, you're at level 0. You don't know nothing. And that's
just getting over yourself. A lot of my problem is not that I don't know what to do. It's my own personal issues because I don't want to be on camera. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yep. Rip. So with that in mind, we're going to give you a plan for the next 7 days. I want you to do a 7-day live challenge. That means you have to go live every day for 7 days for at least 5 minutes.
What am I going to talk about in 5 minutes for 5 minutes?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be only 5 minutes. It has to be at least 5 minutes. And I say that because I've done these challenges with people before and they're like, I'm on live. All right, bye.
Which is what I would do.
So like, you did get on live every day for 7 days, but you just said hi 7 days in a row. Like that doesn't help that doesn't help you. So what we're essentially doing is saying like we just need to build the muscle, right? And after the 7 days, you can determine what you want to do with it. Now, I would highly recommend that you go beyond 7 days, but I don't have to, after that, you've done it. You've got 7 days worth of experience, right? All right, so I'm going to give, and just so y'all know how easy this stuff is, like I'm going to pull the ideas right out of a book. Like the 7 days worth of content is going to come right out of this book. We're just going to go 1 through 7. And that's it, right?
Today. So what do you mean? You're going to have the content for me to talk about, or I got to come up with it?
Tell you exactly what to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm gonna give them to you, like right on the live.
That's why I was like, what do you mean? I just get on here and just talk for 5 minutes?
Yeah, just get on here and talk for 5 minutes.
But you gave me a subject, so that makes it easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the prompts. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to say for the first 7 days.
Okay.
And anybody watching, if you want to do this too, like tag me. And if you're like, Maurice, I want to do more than 7 days, I have hundreds and thousands of prompts. There is no reason why you can't go live. Like if it's a content thing and you're like, I don't know what to talk about, I promise if I sit down with you for 10 minutes, I can give you enough content to talk about for 30 days. Promise. No, with very minimal effort.
So which page do you want me to do this on? Because I could do this for okay.
It's your thing, right? We're just trying to get you to get in the habit of doing it. I would either say 4K photography or your personal profile. Now, I will tell you, there is a difference in the level of reach. If you go on to your personal profile, you're going to get more people. Now, that can be a good or bad thing, right? Like, depending on how you feel right now, that can be a good or bad thing. So I'm not going to tell you which one to do it on. If you want to get your reps on 4K photography, do that. If you want to get your reps on your own page so you can get more traction, do that, right? But personal profiles will always get more love than business pages.
Yeah, they do, but that's scary.
Right. All right. So here's day number 1.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Okay.
Yep. And tell your story.
Ooh, you got to keep
And
that to
that's
5 minutes.
you have several. No, it doesn't have to be 5 minutes only. It has to be at least
At
5
least
minutes.
5 minutes. Okay.
Yes. I don't restrict people to the maximum because I feel like if you can get really comfortable with talking on live for 30, 45 minutes, you've gotten over the fear of being on camera.
You
But
have.
trying to keep you on the live for 5 minutes is the struggle. So the first one is introduce yourself and tell your story. That's the first one. The next one is how do you struggle with something? Or how the prompt is how I struggle with and overcame it. So something that you struggled with in the past, and what did you do to overcome it? So, like, for example, mine would be how I struggled with going live and overcame it. So I could do a live on how I struggled to overcome going live and just walk people through exactly how I overcame that struggle. So whatever yours is, just insert the blank into that. Do you feel like you're an organized person?
With certain things, yes.
Okay, so the next one is what I do to stay organized.
Okay.
Number 4 is how I blank to bring in new customers.
Okay.
So whatever the how is, right? What do you do now that has brought you in new customers? I'm gonna do that one. How I go live to bring in new customers. Okay. How my family and I have fun.
Okay. That'll be an interesting one.
Yep. My favorite hobby is and why I love it.
Okay.
My review of this book and whatever book it is.
Ooh.
That's 7 days.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
I can do that.
Cake. And then
Now just deciding on which page to put it on.
Yep, and don't think too hard. Just pick one and roll with it. And at the end of the 7 days, if you're like, you know, Maurice, I think I can do that consistently, I will give you the other 100.
Okay.
So you literally like this book right here. I won't tell anybody what the book is yet. You got to do the 7 days first. And then I'll just tell you what the book is. If you watch my lives, you've seen this book before. So if you want to go through and find it, you can find it. Good luck. There's a lot of
you showed it really quick, but it wasn't up there for
the title.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't see the title.
You turned it around, so we did.
Oh, did I? If you go back and pause it and find it, great. I also said, you know, it's in my lives somewhere. But like I was looking the other day and I got like
a lot.
I was like, oh shit. This boy's got content. Okay, cool. So that's the plan. Now, here's the question. What do you think is going to be the barrier that stops you from going live? And don't say nothing, because that's not true.
Making sure that I'm on a level that I feel like I'm presentable enough to get on camera.
Okay.
But that's easy because that just means making different choices in the morning.
Yes. So that's the next step, is planning how you're going to overcome it.
Okay.
So you know that that's going to be a barrier for you. So now you need to make plans to overcome them, which is getting up and getting ready.
Yeah. So not sitting in front of the computer in my pajamas and a hair bun.
For the next 7 days. That's the interesting part about these challenges on why I love live so much, is because it doesn't just force you to get over being on camera. It also forces you to overcome some personal barrier that you have. So it's a dual like personal journey mechanism, right? Like if you have confidence issues, that can be your thing that's going to get in the way. But in order for you to overcome it, you have to work through your confidence issues. So it's not just a marketing tool, but it's also a personal development tool, which is what makes going live the most powerful tool you can use for your business. And I have to stress with people, it's not just because it's video that's real time. There's so much more happening with live that a lot of times we don't take into account. But like, I've done speaking events where I've gotten paid $500 to get up on stage for an hour. And it was from a live that I did. Like, I didn't come up with no new content. I just went back into my live and documented exactly what I said, threw some slides up, and then presented it. Like, I made $500 to get on live. Like, I can't beat that. Stuff that I was already talking about for free. Come on now. For free. So there are so many opportunities. And I'll say this, and then we'll end the live. But one of the most interesting things that I found as I continue to learn, right, is that you don't really know what you know until you've said it or wrote it. And as much as I love writing, speaking it is so much faster. So I get a chance to learn what I know by speaking it. Some of the stuff that, like this book, Faith and I were talking about my third book that I'm writing right now, which is a marketing book, which would be my first marketing book. I'm so pumped. Some of the stuff in that book comes from like 9 or 10 different books and some classes and courses and experience. And I didn't know that I knew it until I started going live and talking about it. And it helped create my own frameworks and own beliefs about marketing and small business. And so I share that with anybody that thinks that they want to write a book. Like, write down the topics that you think you want to cover in the book and just go live for 100 days. And you'd be surprised that like the content that you come up with is probably your book. And that's if you want to take a long time to write it, right? Like, if you want to speed up the process, I can show you how to do that. If you want to do that, just comment below and I'll show you how to write a book in a week. Good stuff. I appreciate you, Faith, for taking the time to overcome your own fears.
No problem.
Yeah. Next time we'll do something a little different. This does not count as one of your 7, by the way.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want that to be a confusion.
So I have to start tomorrow?
No, you can start today. This is live on this isn't live on your page, so it don't count.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would start today. You're already presentable for at least what you consider presentable for live, right? So
in the 10 minutes that I had, yep, absolutely.
You warmed up. So when we're done with this one, I would just get on live and talk and do an introduction. What's your story? You can do any number of stories. Matter of fact, you can even tell them that you're on a 7-day live journey, and that could be the story. You don't have to be extravagant. So
okay.
Yeah. All right, John. I appreciate you for watching the live, taking the time. I love you. Thank you so much. And if no one's told you this, you're fantastic. Have a great day.